Hey, welcome to episode 15 of Sports Unfolded. Ron and Eric here. Ron, hopefully no technical difficulties this week.
God, I feel robbed. I feel robbed of last week.
All right, so a lot to cover. So we'll start off right with our leadoff story. And the Boston Bruins won their first round matchup with the Capitals 4-1. They're now going to face the New York Islanders in the second round. What's your outlook for them in this series?
Well, I don't see anything changing, to be honest with you, except the fact that now Pasta is going to be rolling. And I was right about Pasta, by the way. So
I didn't realize Pasta's actually leading the team in the playoffs with 6 points. So
yeah,
he's definitely contributing in many ways.
Yeah, he wasn't scoring goals, but that night, Game 4, he came out of that. And then Game 5, he scored another one, which was probably the most beautiful goal I've seen in a long time. Like, he made it look so easy.
So that series gets underway tomorrow night, so Saturday night. As I was looking at the numbers, they're pretty easily they're pretty even. So, goals for 3.2 for the Bruins, 3.5 for the Islanders, goals against 2 Boston, and 2.67 on the Islanders. So, overall, it looks like they're pretty evenly matched. I know that early in the year, the Islanders definitely kind of took it to the Bruins, but the Bruins towards the end of the season definitely made a difference there. So,
well, yeah, and that's what it seemed to be. It's like the Bruins turned the corner and they started taking it to the Islanders. Now, believe me, they're not going to take them lightly because they know how poorly they played against the Islanders at the beginning of the season. And the fact that they just took out Pittsburgh, that says volumes. So, they're not going to take this team lightly. They are going to be ready.
So, Beauvillier and is it Pageo for the Islanders? Both have 7 points so far for the Islanders. Any concerns with them?
Look, you're gonna find a very solid defensive team that are gonna wait for their chances, and they have some players that can create those chances. Like every team has a couple of players. This team, it's not any different. They have some players with some talent there. And look, Palmieri has been a notorious Bruin killer. So this is not going to be a cakewalk. In fact, I think it's going to be a tougher series than what Washington was. So, they're not going to be like the physical presence like Washington, but this is a tough team, and Barry Trotz is a great coach, and he knows how to get it done. So this is no joke. The Islanders are ready, and the Bruins must be, or they're not going to get past them. But ultimately, I think they will be ready, and they will get past them. I would say maybe 6.
Dan has chimed in and Bruins in 5. So I think Boston does win this series as well. To your point, maybe in 6. But I also looked at this too. We talked about, in previous shows about the goaltending and Rask giving up less than 2 goals a game. He's back to that playoff format, where
he looks great.
Yes. So that's key. But what about the Islanders? Is it Sorokin?
Oh, Sorokin, yes.
Yeah, it looks like he came back. He came in, and
he's a rookie. He's a good goaltender, obviously. Like he basically beat Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh can score goals. We know this. They have a lot of talent over there. You can argue saying there's more talent there, even though I'm not so sure about that. But he played well. But if you pick out the team with the better goaltending, that to me, I'll take Rask over him. I'll take him.
All right, so he's given up less than 2 goals a game as well, 1.95. So from a scoring standpoint, Marchand and Bergeron definitely have to be on point and try to get the puck in the net. So
yes.
that's
Well, you
going to be
look at the
important.
series and you think maybe this could be like a defensive series. You're going to see a lot of 1-0, 2-1 games. It could possibly be total opposite. I mean, I've seen this before where you think that you're going to go into a defensive game and then all of a sudden there's all this offense. So, look, both teams have to be on their toes because, one goal can win the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, especially with those two goaltenders. Dan Hall should play a part. I think that was a great pickup. And if you look at all three pickups the Bruins had, at the trade deadline, they're all contributing in the first playoff series. So, you got it. Don Sweeney did a great job.
Yeah, he's taken a lot of hits from the public, and on his lack of moves or his bad moves. Look, he's done a good job with this team, and I'm not going to question anything because I think he got it done this year. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this, and outside of the teams that like Colorado. I think Colorado's the only team that can beat the Bruins, to be honest with you.
So a great segue. We're going to discuss some NHL now with the remaining games that are left in the first round and the 1 second round match. So Carolina versus Tampa Bay. What do you think?
Yeah, like Tampa Bay had a scare, and so did Carolina for that matter with Nashville. I thought Carolina would have steamrolled Nashville. You got to give them credit for making it a series because it shouldn't have been close. Which now says, okay, Carolina is ready to be beaten by Tampa Bay. I mean, you got to be scared if you're a Carolina fan. If they had trouble with Nashville, Tampa Bay is another beast.
So both teams, though, definitely. I mean, if you're into some high scoring hockey. That might be the series to watch because in the first round, both of them were the highest scoring teams. Tampa Bay had 24 goals and Carolina 22 goals. So there's going to be a lot of pucks flying around and a lot of shots on goal. So it should be a very exciting series.
And the fact of the matter that both teams gave up a lot of goals. I don't see either team going any further than this round. I think they're either one advances. I think they're going out first round. Well, in the final four,
So what about so this was my upset special when we did the playoff hockey, and game 7 is tonight with Vegas versus Minnesota, the Wild.
Good job picking that, by the way, because that could actually happen.
And then they face the Avs. So after that, they're done. Whatever team gets out of this, the Avs look so good.
Yeah, they just dismantled St. Louis easily. Yeah. And St. Louis, I thought, might have been the second best team in that division. And they looked bad. Bad. Colorado just toyed with them.
I know you had picked the Golden Knights. Do you want to change that before Game 7 tonight? Or you're still going Golden Knights
over with them. The Wild? They're going to be at home. They're going to be at home. Fleury is probably one of the best goaltenders to play in the playoffs. And I'll ride that. But good job, Minnesota, if they win or not.
Yeah. What about Toronto versus Montreal? So it's 3-2. They play tomorrow night. Does Toronto close that out?
Yeah, you would think they would do it. I mean, Montreal is not good. Toronto, man. So I don't see them going much further.
Austin Matthews, 1 goal in 5 games.
Yeah. He'll have to play Winnipeg, who just shut down McDavid.
Yes. So it's going to be an interesting. I think Toronto wins, though, tomorrow night. I think they, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
Montreal is just not that talented enough to
they don't have the horses. Not even close to having enough horses. Carey Price can't do it alone.
So we'll see. We got my upset alert. We'll have to see how that works out next week.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping it happens. I'm hoping it happens.
Let's
Because
talk.
I wouldn't mind Minnesota running through and getting to the Final Four.
All right.
That'll make it so that way the Bruins are number 3 seed.
Gotcha. As we do, we try to cover all sports. So we're going to cover some PGA now. Phil Mickelson won the PGA Championship at the age of 50, becoming the oldest player to win a major. What do you think about that performance?
You gotta love it. I mean, I like Phil. I've always been a Phil Mickelson fan. You know, look, he just seems like a normal guy, just going out there and playing golf. And like, how long was the talk for? Well, he can't get it done in big matches, and here he is. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, so
and the oldest to do it.
Yes. Yeah. So he's won 6 majors in his career, but he hasn't won a major since 2013. So you think about an 8-year drought.
He's got a long way to go to catch up.
42.
He's gonna have to play till 140 at this pace.
He's ranked. He's never gotten higher than 2nd overall though in ranking, and I think he fell into that poor thing of having to worry about Tiger Woods for as long as he did. So as good as a golfer as he was, he had that one. It's like you always have those teams at the nemesis, the NFL, the Patriots. How many teams in the AFC East? Or you know what I mean? You look at basketball with Jordan in the 90s. How many of those teams, like the Knicks, couldn't get past? He had Tiger Woods. So unfortunately,
Utah.
He was never.
Think about Charles Barkley, how he couldn't win a championship.
Yeah, with that Phoenix team that was loaded, right?
Yeah.
So Phil, great job at age 50. He's got 55 professional wins in his career. So
I'm happy for him.
That was a really good thing to see.
Like, he'll never be in the conversation of best golfer of all time. A lot of it was because of that Tiger Woods thing. I mean, it's tough to overcome Tiger Woods.
Yeah. And we're talking about eras. Rick chimed in with John Cena. So we got a wrestling reference there. That's awesome. We're going to go on to the NBA here. We're going to talk some NBA playoffs. So a lot going on in the NBA.
Oh my Lord.
That Philly-Washington series, Washington just looks like they're a train wreck right now. They're getting beat in every statistical category possible. They've got Tobias Harris averaging 28, Embiid averaging 26. Simmons is 18, 11, and 12. 11 assists, 12 rebounds a game. So he's the triple-double machine. Westbrook on the other side, only 13 points a game. I think it's 12 boards. Bradley Beal's doing all he can with 33 points a game, but this series over?
Yes. Like, I mean, obviously the Wizards were the underdog. I mean, that was obvious. Look, if Westbrook and Beal can't do more, they have no chance.
Yeah.
Because nobody else is really going to be able to pick it up. And look, we talked about Tatum has to do what he has to drop 50. Unfortunately, he's not Luka.
Yes.
Like, Luka is taking his team on his back, and he's getting the job done. The Celtics are in the same position as the Wizards.
Yeah. So, interesting series. The Knicks-Hawks we talked about. It's tied up at 1-1 currently.
Yeah.
Randall's doing what he does, double-double, so 15 points, 12 rebounds. Game 3's tonight. Derrick Rose averaging 21 points so far in the series. That's nice to see. Trae Young, 31 points, 8.5 assists. So how do you think this is going to go?
Well, we had talked about this last week, and this was probably going to be the closest series in the East. I would not be surprised if it goes the distance, to be honest with you.
This one to me is going 7.
Yeah.
And I think it's based on the fact that both teams, and I still think New York pulls this out only based on the defensive part of it.
Right.
Trae Young's just so good.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably, like I said, it's the better series in the conference. And, look, I'm not a New York fan by no means, of course, but I would like the winner of this series to get out of the division, the conference, to be honest with you. I would
It'd be
love
fun.
to see it because, they're kind of underdogs. I mean, they're not, Brooklyn, they're not the
Yeah.
Sixers, and they're not Milwaukee.
Yep.
So I would love to see the underdog come out of there. But
So
it's not going to happen.
yeah, no. Speaking of Milwaukee, the Bucks are up 3-0 on the Heat.
Yeah, I kind of expected this.
Absolute destruction on the boards. They are destroying them on the boards. Giannis is averaging 24 and 16 rebounds a game.
Look, like I said, they remember last year, and that was their motivation. They came to destroy Miami. That's what they're there for. They are going wild in that series. I mean,
So think about this.
insane.
We talked about so Drew Holiday and Middleton had to be those two other guys. It can't all be Giannis. They're stepping up. And then if you look at Miami, Dragic is their leading scorer right now, averaging 17 points. Butler's averaging 15, and Bam Adebayo is averaging 14. Those are your two-star players. If you can't get more out of those two, which, again, I think this goes for, that's it. Milwaukee's gonna win the next game. That series is over.
Right.
Let's talk some depression here with the Nets and the Celtics. So as a Celtics
Nets and who? Who are they playing?
The Nets versus some team. Durant's averaging 29 and 10. Kyrie 22 points a game. Harden 20 points a game. So the big three doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
Boston. Marcus Smart's our leading scorer with 18 points a game. Tatum's averaging 15.
Yeah. Terrible.
And he's got an eye injury now. He got poked in the eye the last game. So
yeah. He also has another injury. His heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it. This is going to be an absolute I think overhaul in the offseason. The Celtics aren't even going to win a playoff game against them. I was predicting 6, and I don't see it now. Not with the way this team's playing.
No.
Jazz Grizzlies tied at 1-1.
Oh, wait, Jazz Grizzlies?
Yeah, fun series.
We thought it was going to be the Warriors.
We thought it was going to be the Warriors.
Yeah, no, like we talked about Utah could be like the lame duck.
Not looking like it.
Top seed, this could look. We thought it was going to be the Warriors, but it doesn't matter. Memphis could pull this out anyway.
I don't know though, but I mean, Mitchell returned. He got 25 points in the last game, so they get their superstar back. Bogdanovich has got 23. Conley averaging 21. John Morant for the Grizzlies, 36.5 points a game.
Yeah, how do you let him get away from you?
Right, that kid's going to be a superstar.
And then what I'm saying, I don't see Utah winning this series. I don't see it.
It's going to be close, but I don't know if Utah can shoot the ball. I mean, they're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. It's really going to depend on what else they get. The Grizzlies get from their second and third scorers. Here's an interesting series. Clippers Mavs 2-0 right now. Mavs, did you see that?
I told you.
I don't know about that. So, as the Clippers not showing up for one game yet.
No, look, like I said, Luka is carrying this team through the Clippers, and I am not surprised one bit.
Luka, 35 points a game, 8.5 rebounds, 9 assists. Right now.
He's doing it all. He's doing it all. He must be upset that he wasn't in the nomination for MVP. I don't know how.
I just the interesting part of this is, and Dan, Clippers are the team to watch. Clippers are the team to watch to fall apart. If you think the Celtics are in trouble after losing, if they're going to lose this series, what does it say about the Clippers if they can't even get out of the first round? They basically tanked the end of the season so they wouldn't have to face the Lakers till later on in the Western Conference Championship. They may not get out of the first round against Dallas.
They're not going to.
Dallas, and you got it.
It's already over. It's already over.
Nuggets Trailblazers 2-1 Nuggets right now.
It's a good series. And, I think Denver's got a little too much for Portland to overcome. These are two teams that are playing their hearts out right now, and it could go 7. But it could. I think Denver will take care of it in 6, but it could go 7. It could go 7.
Jokic, 36 points, 11, almost 12 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard, 37, almost 38 points a game right now, 9 assists. So the two superstars on both teams are playing, and they're both wanting to win. So that series, when we talk about heart, that's a series with a bunch of heart. Both those teams.
It's okay, Boston Celtics. When you get done with your 4 games, you can watch those two teams, and that's when you see what you need to do.
We talked about this on the face-off that I won last week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. Get out of here. I got robbed.
Suns Lakers, 2-1 LA now. The Lakers.
The second win was by default.
Game 3. Anthony Davis, 27-9. And LeBron, 20-9 assists a game. Chris Paul averaging 6 points a game. Phoenix, number 2 seed here. It's not looking good. And I had high hopes.
But again, I picked LA, and there was a reason for that. It's, they hung on, made the playoffs, and that's all they needed to do. They got, LeBron with lots of rest.
And think about championship pedigree, playoff experience goes a long way. Devin Booker hasn't played in the playoffs. I mean, he's having a good series, but, Chris Paul has always struggled in the playoffs. It's just one of those things. So I know he's injured. So that's not helping, but I don't see the Lakers losing another game in this series.
No, I don't see it either.
They turned that corner.
That's bad news for the other teams, to be honest with you. If the Lakers are going to play healthy the rest of the way, and that's a big if, the other teams are in trouble. I only see maybe Denver is probably the only one that can probably withstand the Lakers, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think you're right. So once again, if you're joining us, we're on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. If you want to join us on social media, on Facebook or Twitter, at Sports Unfolded or at Broadcasting RI. Instagram, Sports_Unfolded, and now podcasts with Spotify, Anchor, and Google. So we're really excited about that as well. And our new show, the Wrestling Den, is also on those platforms. So really excited about that. Let's talk some NFL. A lot going on in the NFL. Excuse me. After 24 seasons in the NFL, Adam Vinatieri is retiring from football. He played 10 seasons with the Patriots and 14 with the Colts. 4-time Super Bowl
kicker. My favorite kicker.
So that picture right back here, that's against Carolina. That was the second championship.
God, he was so good. He was nails.
Listen to some of these records he has. NFL records. Most consecutive field goals made with 44. Most combined regular and postseason games played, 397. Most career field goals made, 599. Most field goals attempted at 715. And the all-time points leader in the NFL with 2,673 points.
Hall of Fame.
Pretty first ballot. If he's not, there's something wrong. Because when you think about kickers, even today, they usually don't get mentioned on a team. It's not a thing. He was part of that Patriot dynasty. Like, he was one of those guys you mentioned with Brady's.
I also recall him making a big tackle as well.
Yes.
So he wasn't just a kicker.
No.
He was a football player.
Rick, definitely Hall of Famer for sure. So some more Patriot news. I'm throwing this one out at you. New England Patriots released linebacker Leroy Reynolds yesterday. Why is this a big story? I'm going to tell you why. You ready?
Go ahead.
They needed to make a roster spot for you know who? One Julio Jones.
Maybe.
So they didn't have enough roster spots. They had to eliminate somebody. So basically what they've done is they've made sure they have a roster spot for June 1st. And we did a Facebook poll of wide receiver would you rather have on your team, Julio Jones or Odell Beckham Jr.? And 75% of our fans with 28 votes voted for Julio Jones.
Well,
so the fans want it.
Because when he plays, he plays. Like, I don't consider him a diva. You know what I'm saying? Like, Julio Jones plays football. He goes out there and does his job. And that is why people want him. Because a guy like Odell Beckham, do you really want him, to have his antics on the sidelines in New England? I don't. Look, Randy Moss changed for it. That says it all. Like,
so, I mean, it's definitely interesting that obviously he wants to play with Cam. Odell Beckham Jr. worked out with Cam in California recently, so that's where that came about. But how do you not consider, if you're New England, with all the moves they've made, not to pick up Julio Jones at this point? It just makes the most sense. And from a cap standpoint, they have the money. Again, we talk about show of fame. Julio Jones is going to be a Hall of Fame as well. So why not bring this guy aboard and try to make this run? This is the year to do it with Cam and who knows with Mac Jones. It could be a Mac Jones situation where this gives Mac Jones a legitimate number one wide receiver to work with.
Yeah, look, if you're the Patriots organization, that's what you got to look at. They want to win a Super Bowl this year, obviously, because Tom won it last year. So they want to win it this year, and Bill will do what he has to do to get that done. Like I said, I'm still not sold on Cam being the quarterback.
And you could be right.
And to me, this team, the way it's built, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is of the two choices we have. Now, I'm not saying they can just go and put in, any schmo.
Brian Hoyer?
Right. You can't put in Hoyer in there and expect to do anything. But, look, Cam is an NFL quarterback. Whatever you think of him, and I don't care for him that much. Whatever you think of him as a quarterback, he is still capable of leading the team to a Super Bowl because this team is built for it.
Yeah.
It is built not just for the quarterback to do everything.
And that's why I think New England's got to make this move.
So whoever wins that quarterback job coming out of camp is going to be well equipped to get them there.
Yeah, and again, early indications out of camp is that Mac Jones looks good. He's picking it up pretty quick. A lot of these players that they got picked up, they just love the coaching of Bill Belichick, and they're in awe of what he knows. So you think about
they're banking on going to a Super Bowl. That's what they're banking on.
Yeah.
Who else is going to get them there?
Yeah, best thing I've heard so far. Hunter Henry, he's looking at old Grunk tape. He said he's going to be the next Grunk. So I'd be excited with that. I'd take that.
Look, like all those picks, like we said during the NFL show, all those picks that they got, they're all in that 4 and 5 year in their career, and that is when players start to bust out. So I'm not looking for anything different.
Dan, Cam will not play more than will not play 3 games for the Pats. So he's going under on the 3 games. Under. You know what time it is?
Pick and roll
baby. Pick and roll, baby. So this week's topic
on any show.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Which of these players returning from injury will have a bigger impact this upcoming season for his team? And the 5 players we're going to discuss are Joe Burrow, Odell Beckham Jr., Dak Prescott, Saquon Barkley, and Carson Wentz. It is your turn to go first this week, so I will let you start off, and then I will give the fans the correct list.
What if we're the same list?
I don't think we will this time.
All
Not
right,
this
number
one.
five. Number five, Carson Wentz.
Yeah, so we're already different.
I say this because he is not an upgrade from Rivers. Definitely not an upgrade. I'm sorry. Carson Wentz isn't as good as Rivers. This is a downgrade. So impact, hey, it might be the best impact, but in reverse.
Okay.
So
that's a
I mean,
valid
there
point.
is that.
Valid point.
So, but we're going a positive impact, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So Carson Wentz, look, he might not even make it through a season. So, yeah. Number four, I have Odell Beckham. I believe Cleveland is going to make the playoffs again. I don't think they're going to get any further than what they did last year. So the impact of Odell Beckham is just basically to get them right where they were. So I don't think that makes them more of a chance to beat KC. Okay. I think defensive side would help them beat KC. Number three, I have Joe Burrow. I mean, look, Cincinnati is going to have a potential chance for the playoffs. I think they're going to beat out Pittsburgh, in fact. So I think they are going to improve this year. And if Joe Burrow can stay alive, because they didn't go get him alignment.
Yeah, we talked about it, right?
So, but I think he will have an impact because he's going to get them further. I think they're going to be above Pittsburgh, like I said, and get a shot. Like, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to be around that area. Number two, I have Dak Prescott.
Okay.
Look, I mean, again, he's got to stay healthy because if he doesn't, Dallas probably won't win another game after he gets hurt. But with him playing, I can see them going maybe 7-8 wins on the season, which is a big jump from what they were last year. I mean, what would they have?
6-10 last year.
6-10. So if they get 8 wins this year, that's a big jump for them. 8 and that would be 8 and 9, right? Yeah. So they have to have 9 wins.
9 and 8. Okay.
So 9 and 8. But they won't make the playoffs. But it's a big jump because, like, if you have a healthy quarterback, then you actually have a shot.
Okay.
Number one, Saquon Barkley. And the reason why I have him over Dak is because I think the Giants are going to win the division. They're going to win it handily. This guy is going to give them stability at the quarterback position. Because now the quarterback doesn't have to stand there and throw all game long. He can hand the ball to Saquon, and Saquon's going to run right through the defense in that entire division. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't lose a game in that division because of having Saquon Barkley there.
I can see it. No, good valid points. Good valid points. Now I'm going to give. So Dan agreed with you, other than Burrow. But you got the list all wrong, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you numbers on top of numbers as well.
That's okay, because the eyeball test is better.
Joe Burrow, my number 5, played in 10 games. Team went 2-7-1 while he played. He threw for 26, almost 2,700 yards, 13 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. The team was 4-11-1 last season. Okay, he still hasn't played a full 16-game. Well, now 17-game season. So he's still got to mature. He's still got time he's got to develop. So his impact, he's still on the learning curve. So I don't think he can make as big an impact and make them an 8-9 win. I just don't see that happening. At number 4, I had Dak Prescott. So he played 5 games last year with the Cowboys. They went 2-3. He threw for a little over 1,800 yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 picks. The team overall last year was 6-10. In 2019, Dak Prescott threw for 4,900 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. So you're like, wow, right? What an upgrade. They get Dak. They went 8-8. So to be 500, they didn't improve much on defense, enough to say that him being back makes them any better than a 500 team. So I don't think he has as big an impact. At number 3, I agreed with your points on Saquon Barkley. I think if he can bounce back, if you look at his rookie year, 1,300 yards rushing, 11 touchdowns. 2019, 1,000 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns. But he also had 91 receptions in 2018 and 52 receptions in 2019. If he can stay healthy and he's part of that offense and Daniel Jones takes that leap that we discussed, they're definitely, the team to beat in the NFC East. It's all hinging on how he comes back. He only played in 2 games last season before he got hurt. So Saquon Barkley's my number 3. Number 2, Carson Wentz. So Carson Wentz played in 12 games last season, was 3-8-1 in those games, 2,600 yards, 16 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. The Eagles overall 4-11-1 last season. His 2019 numbers, he threw for 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. The Colts were 11-5 last year. 11-5 last year. If Frank Wright, who we discussed being his former coach, can get him back to his 2019 impact, that team's a playoff team and possibly a Super Bowl contender. It's all going to hinge on the coaching, which I think he's going to have better coaching, a belief in him. So Carson Wentz, to me, is going to make sure that the Colts are back in the playoffs, possibly in the AFC Championship game. My number 1, Odell Beckham Jr. He played in 7 games last year, 23 receptions, 300 yards, a little over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Not very impressive. The team overall went 11-5, made the playoffs, lost to the Chiefs, right? 2019, he had 74 receptions, over 1,000 yards. If you want to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs, you're going to need to score points. You're going to need to have as much offensive power as possible to keep adding the points up. They have a solid defense. They have a good offense. Having Odell Beckham Jr. back only strengthens their chances of winning and possibly getting to the Super Bowl for the first time.
Okay, so I'm going to poke a couple of holes in your theories.
Do it.
First of all, you can't have Beckham and Carson Wentz number 1 and 2 because having them 1 or 2 pokes holes in your whole theory on why they're there, because you have to be wrong on one of them. Because if you think Carson Wentz is going to go and bring them to the conference championship and you expect Cleveland to do the same thing and possibly win their first Super Bowl, you can't have it both ways and leave Kansas City out of that. You can't have it both ways because
what I'm saying is
one of them can succeed.
Exactly. So for one of these guys to beat the Chiefs, they have to be successful. So realistically, if Carson Wentz plays like Carson Wentz of 2019, they got a shot to beat the Chiefs. If Odell Beckham,
they have to play each other first.
Whichever team faces them, the Chiefs. The Chiefs.
No. What if they have to play each other?
Yeah.
Cleveland versus Indianapolis.
They might both. Hold on, but they both might be in the AFC Championship game too. We don't know that.
Yeah, but if they play each other first, you're screwed.
Maybe they knock out the Chiefs earlier.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't buy either of those because you're expecting those 2 teams to do better than last year, and that is unrealistic. So maybe one of them can do it, but I don't see both of them.
They were both 11-5 last year. 11-5 last year, really good opportunities. That's all. I'm just saying. I know I won that.
I'm just saying. I can't wait to find out those results.
So once again, if you're joining us, we're on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Follow us on social media, on Facebook and Twitter, at Sports Unfolded and at Broadcasting RI. You can follow us on Instagram on Sports_Unfolded and on our podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and Google. So we've gotten some traction on the podcast as well. So we're really excited about that. Really excited about our new show that we presented yesterday, the Wrestling Den with Rick and Kenny. So great show. If you haven't seen it, we suggest you check it out on Sports Unfolded. Check it out on Rhode Island Broadcasting. It's everywhere. It's on YouTube. It's on Anchor. Really should hear this show. I think it's going to be a great show, great wrestling insight from those two. So look forward to seeing what they bring in the future. So the episode that I won last week, the face-off.
Yeah. By default, your big second win.
Hey, I'll take them any way I can, man. Any way I can.
The first win you had, I gave it to you.
Yes, get them to watch. Absolutely. So our face-off this week is going to be based off of the AdamVinatieri retirement. And one of us has to be for AdamVinatieri, one of us has to be for Tom Brady. And this is what the question is. Which player was more important to the New England Patriots' early Super Bowl success? So the fans that are watching, we got some live viewers out there. Who would you like to be for AdamVinatieri, and who would you like to be for Tom Brady? Let's see if we can get some votes out there.
Who's for Vinatieri and who's for Brady? Come on, Rick, Dan, Tim. Where's Tim? We missed Tim.
Tim, Dan, Rick, anybody. Who's for AdamVinatieri? Who's for Tom Brady?
John, Frankie,
Billy, Mary, Eric's for Brady. Oh, you're killing me. Brady. Oh, man. All right, I guess I got Brady.
Oh, I'm loving this one.
I didn't want Brady. I wanted Vinatieri. So you go first, my friend. It's your week.
All right. So, is it ready?
Let's see. 1 minute will be on the clock. Go.
All right. So look, his thing is going to say, well, he won't be able to win the game if Brady doesn't put him there. Yeah, but it doesn't matter if Brady puts him there. If you have any schmo trying to kick the ball, it ain't going in. And let's give the numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. Oh, let's see. The first one. Where did he go? Like 8 for 8 in those 3 games, including 3 in that Pittsburgh game. Or how about the kick in the snow? Or the 2 against St. Louis, or the 3 against Carolina that they won. Oh, how about 5 in that second Super Bowl against Pittsburgh that actually did win the game because Brady couldn't get them to score. So, without Vinatieri, there's 3 championships that do not happen because they were won by field goals.
Time.
Period.
Time. All right, and they scored a touchdown. Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback in the Pittsburgh game. Anyway, all right.
Just saying.
All right, so I am going to go now.
That solidifies my thing.
Tom Brady made everyone on that team better. Proved it. I mean, if you can give me all his wide receivers in those first couple of years, I will tell you right now, David Givens, Troy Brown. These guys wouldn't stop for any other team. Jermaine Wiggins. I mean, he basically single-handedly won those Super Bowls because he made that entire team better. He put them in position to be in Super Bowls by getting that team to win divisions. You got to remember, it starts with the division first, right? Win the division, win the playoff games, then win the Super Bowls. Tom Brady made sure that we were going 11-5, 12-4 every year. Tom Brady was the reason why the New England Patriots won the Super Bowls. He got Vinatieri in those positions, but he also made sure that team didn't lose in those positions. That's my time.
You said single-handedly. You might be right about that, but Vinatieri used his foot.
So, a quick question, though. Who won the Super Bowl last year?
Brady.
And because, again, he goes to a team, he makes that team better.
I'm not saying he doesn't make the team better.
A Super Bowl. So, Tom Brady, if they had Adam Vinatieri on Tampa Bay, would Tampa Bay have gone to the Super Bowl without Tom Brady?
No.
Okay.
They don't win the Super Bowl without Vinatieri. They don't win without Vinatieri.
I just made my point.
They don't win without Vinatieri. Vinatieri
Who got him in
nailed
position?
every single field goal.
Tom Brady got him in position.
Yes,
Tom Brady
he did.
In that snow game, we're not going to forget Tom Brady with the scramble to score in the snow with that touchdown.
No, but you're not going to forget the kick. You're not going to forget that kick. Nobody makes that kick. No one. Vinatieri does. And you know it. You know it damn well. That's why you didn't want to take Tom Brady.
Because I truly think Vinatieri was a big part of it. But you can't say that Tom Brady didn't have a part and wasn't maybe not.
I'm not saying that.
So
I'm not saying he didn't have a part. But he didn't. Tom Brady didn't kick those field goals that won it. He didn't kick them. I'm sorry. Like, you look at every team, their quarterback can do a 2-minute drill and get the ball to the field goal spot. Every team. But the problem is they didn't have a guy to kick the ball in to win those games. That's the problem.
First championship.
And I'm not saying Brady wasn't the big part of it, but without Vinatieri, those 3 Super Bowls don't get won without him. They don't get won.
According to everybody that's watching currently, I clearly won. And I will tell you, I will make this last point. If you recall, in the very first Super Bowl with the St. Louis Rams, John Madden gets on, and John Madden basically said on the announcement, he goes, all the Patriots are going to do right now is down the ball, let the clock run out, and go to overtime. What did Tom Brady do? Drove him down the field, got him in field goal position for Vinatieri to kick that field goal.
Yo, wait. Who kicked it?
A great analyst said.
Wait, who kicked it?
Vinatieri. Vinatieri.
Okay, so he won the game.
No.
Thank you.
No, yeah, because Tom Brady shouldn't have even put him in position, because even the analysts were saying that it was foolish to even attempt that.
Wait, wasn't that a Spygate year?
No, that was not the Spygate year. They did film the practices in the hotel, according to some Rams, mostly
right. So Brady knew all those things.
There we go. There we go. Oh, you want to be one of those guys now? Okay. Hey, you just gave me an idea for a pick and roll. Which Patriot scandal was worse? We might be able to rank those at some point. I think that might be one up.
Wait, is the Bob Kraft?
Yes, the Bob Kraft of the hooker? We could probably put that in there. His trips to Miami, yes. Right before an AFC Championship game. Talk about how cool is Robert Kraft. To all the fans that are watching, thank you for voting for me, because I know I won as usual.
Oh, God.
And now I'm finally getting the backing I deserve, Ron. Finally.
All right. So even if you did win this win, it's your third win. Ooh.
And Kenneth wants to know how many times the Jags are going to run the Wildcat now with Tebow.
Every game.
I know you're excited about all these trick plays that are going to come out of Jacksonville. So I already bought my Tim Tebow 85 jersey, because I feel like he's going to just be in the league for years now to come.
Tim Tebow does it all.
He's getting cut.
He's also going to be a running back and a linebacker.
Prediction time, my friend. Prediction time. I went 2-0 last week.
Yeah, it was a rough week.
Yeah, rough week, buddy. So we're going to start off tomorrow night's game. Islanders at Bruins.
The Bruins.
You struggled there for a second. I don't know. You were a little...
Well, I was debating whether or not I was going to say by at least 2 goals.
So I think the Bruins come out. They show their force early in game 1, and they take control of this series right away. I think
at home, and I think it's going to be a full arena.
Yeah, and I think Tuukka's going to play off lights out.
Yeah,
I'm expecting him to play lights out. And to your point, the rookie for the Islanders, Sorokin.
Yeah,
Sorokin. Again, that crowd in Boston. Whew, they're going to be all over him. Get ready. Game 4 on the 30th, Knicks at Hawks. Series currently 1-1. Game tonight, so we'll know who's ahead, but I believe
tough
it's in
because
it's going to be in Atlanta.
I got to skip a game. I'm going to say the Knicks. I'm going to say the Knicks.
Wow. I'm going to go Hawks. I'm going to go Trae Young at home. They're going to be
Well,
down
I'm
2-1.
thinking they won Game 3 at home, and I'm thinking
They're going to lose
the Knicks
tonight.
are leaving it up.
They're going to lose tonight, and Trey's going to go off. Knicks. Dan's got
So
the Knicks.
we both agree they're going to go 1-1 for the next 2 games.
Yeah. And then Sunday Night Baseball. Actually, this isn't even Sunday Night Baseball. This was based off of our pick and roll last week. I did the San Francisco Giants at the LA Dodgers, so that great rivalry.
It is Sunday.
It is on Sunday, but it's not the
and
Sunday
I'm going to spice this up a little.
Ooh, do it. I like it.
Because it's Gaussman versus Kershaw.
Oh, look at that.
Gaussman is 1.53 ERA. Kershaw is 2.94. Gaussman hasn't lost a game yet. He's 5-0. Kershaw is 7-3. So this is big. Big.
Who stepped up? So you say Kershaw chokes again like he usually does?
No, I think he's going to win this one.
Oof, I like it. I'm going Giants. I think that way we got 2 different ones again. All right. I've got a little bit of time. Anything you want to
That's going to be a good game. I might actually watch that one.
That would be a really fun game. Fans out there that are watching, any topics you'd like us to cover? Anything you'd like to hear from anything going on recently?
Well, make those predictions right now.
Yeah, Dan's got the Giants, Knicks, and Bruins. So good stuff there. We discussed on the Wrestling Den about the Sports Unfolded wrestling match. So might have to do a tag team match with Rick, Kenny, me, and you.
Oh yeah,
that would be one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Want to talk a little?
I'll show them who Chief J Strongbow is.
Stan wants us to talk a little Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers didn't show up for voluntary camp. He also was on Sports Center with Kenny Mayne recently and basically said that there's just, no way for them to work this out. What does he do? Does he shout the air? Did they hold on to him? Do you think he gets traded?
Oh, well, this can certainly show up a Super Bowl if he gets traded to the New England Patriots.
That ain't happening.
Oh my God. Would that be the ultimate right now?
Before Mac Jones got here, I would have said yes. I can't see Bill. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Well, Bill wants to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers won't be a fantasy quarterback this year, Rick, because I don't think he's going to be playing. I think the Packers are going to play hardball with him and make him sit.
That's probably what they're going to have to do.
Because what are you getting for him? He's a 3 first-round draft picks. No team's giving that up. I mean, they're not going to get what they need. Make the game at Gillette pretty interesting. Yes, it would. Against Tom Brady. I would love to see it.
Oh, my God.
If it was Rodgers versus Brady in Foxborough, Brady's return, you couldn't write a better script.
I think Brady is the best quarterback to ever play. Without a doubt. There's no doubt. I'm sorry. 7 Super Bowls.
Tom Brady? That gentleman
I would certainly wouldn't mind Aaron Rodgers as a replacement. That would not be a bad thing. Because you can still have him play for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got 4 or 5 years left in him. I don't know if Vic's coming back.
Make the call. Make the call.
I think the call's going to be Julio Jones. It's going to be Julio. It's got to be. It makes the most sense.
That's good, but I'd rather have Rodgers, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they could afford him. And does it really fit with what they're doing? Unless Mac Jones, they plan on sitting him for the next 3-4 years.
Well, I think Mac Jones would have to be part of the deal, but
I didn't think about that.
Because unless you ship Cam to him,
they get Mac. Nobody's taking Cam. Who's taking Cam? So Mac Jones, this is what you're predicting. Mac Jones, 3 first-round draft picks. Aaron Rodgers is a Patriot.
I would do it. I
could see it. It might happen. No, great point, Dan. Thanks for bringing that up.
Especially if the organization, namely Bob Kraft, made him take Mac Jones. Which some people say that's what happened.
No, come on. That doesn't happen.
I mean, I'm just saying.
The Jimmy G trade,
there.
the Jimmy G trade that was never going to happen. That should have happened. I don't know. All right, Dan, thank you for bringing that up. Great point. Thanks for all our fans for chiming in. We appreciate you. Next week on our show, really excited to bring. We're going to have a live interview with the cast of the Wrestling Den. So Kenny and Rick will join us, discuss their show and what they've got upcoming. So we're excited about that. Obviously, we'll be full throttle in NHL playoff talk. So NBA playoffs as well. There'll be some series that second round series that'll be starting. And then our pick and roll. Could be an interesting one. Best one name athletes. So when we say that one name, like a Jordan, like a Magic.
They're known by one name.
They're known by one name.
Like
Who's
Pele.
Pele. Who's the top, right? So that'll be what we do next week. So as you do, if you haven't watched our show before, we always finish up with a final thought. And our final thought could be about anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be about sports. It could be anything that's related to what's going on in the world today. Ron, you're up first this week, my friend. Take it away.
I didn't get to have one last week. So.
Yeah. And you lost a face.
So I might give two parts. So part one is out to the Boston Celtic organization. Okay, so bad enough we have to sit through how you've played all year, which is crap. But now we have to hear all this chirping about racism when you come to Boston. All right, so fans, when you're at the game, you represent the city and the state and the region. So when you go there and you mutter despicable words to players that are there to entertain you, it's wrong. And you should be banned if you get caught saying stuff. You should be banned from the arena, period. There's no excuse, because you're now giving this area a bad name. And bad enough, the history of the Celtics with that to go along with the fans now. Mm-hmm. Like, really? When you have our own players are saying that it does happen, you should be ashamed. And my second part, another mass shooting, and you know, it's just getting out of hand, and something has to be done. And people need to start banding together to make sure something is done. And that's all I have for today.
Great points. Great points. Great minds think alike. So my final thoughts also about the fans. Russell Westbrook recently, once he was leaving a game, a fan threw popcorn at him. And then Trae Young during the Knicks game, fans spit at it in his face. If you want to go to a game, think about the amount of money. There's plenty of fans out there that would love to go to these games, can't afford it. You're going to disgrace yourself, your organization, your city by doing things like this. Why pay for a ticket? Why bother? Now some of these guys are banned for life. Was it worth it? What did you prove? And to your point, Ron, it was for entertainment. They came there to put on a show. They did that. You paid for it. You got what you paid for. It wasn't like they didn't show up or they decided they weren't going to play, or they're there playing these games. And why should they have to be subject to this? Their families are in the stands and have to watch this and hear this and see this. That's not right. And you're attacking these guys for what reason? Because they beat your team? Makes no sense. These fans should be disgusted. The leagues really need to start to crack down on this stuff happening. And if it continues to happen, you know what? Maybe fans don't appreciate the fact that they couldn't go to games last year at all during COVID. Maybe the league's got to do that again. Just say, hey, you know what? Maybe we don't have fans. If we can't protect our players in a way that makes sense, then why even have fans? So be a fan of the sport, and be respectable. That'd be the first thing I'd say. Be respectable.
Yeah, Eric, players expect to go to arenas and get booed from the home team. But you have no right to throw things and spit at people, and you have no right for that.
It just degrades the sport, degrades fans. I'm a fan. I love sports. Obviously, that's why we do this show, because we love sports. And we'll talk about players and we'll discuss players, but it's never a personal thing. And it's never about violence. It's always about, hey, you're not shooting well, or they didn't do this. Or we talk about Jason Tatum's heart, but it's not a personal thing. And I think these fans take it personally. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. So once again, thanks for joining us on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Follow us on social media at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter, at Broadcasting RI on Twitter, Instagram, Sports_Unfolded, and then podcasts on Spotify, Anchored, and Google. To all the fans that have watched live, we appreciate you. Appreciate everybody that tunes in. And once again, have a great night and look forward to next week's show.
Take care, everybody.